It is the Royal Rumble. 2 Royal Rumble matches, 2 world title matches, 2 tag team matches, 1 after show.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, man.
We are here. There we go, to talk about the Royal Rumble.
You're not enough for me.
We're ready. It's happening. I'm your host, Steve Kaufman. You can find me on Twitter at Steve Kaufman. That is Kaufmann. I have a full-strength expert panel with me, starting my immediate left.
You know, for a second there, I didn't know I was going to be introduced first. All right, anyways, you guys can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at _Denise Salcedo.
And to her left,
oh, me?
joining us straight from an exclusive Royal Rumble party.
Hey, it's Christian Rosenberg. I host Smackdown Tuesday nights. Follow me on Twitter at Rosenberg, Instagram, Rosenberg, ProWrestlingTees.com/Christian Rosenberg. I'm going to have to get used to Steve being the lead on a show.
Okay.
I haven't got used to it yet.
Okay. And to his immediate left, diametrically opposed, both geographically and
Just don't talk. Kaufman.
fashionably.
What a nice jersey.
I love George's jersey.
I'm sure you do. That's why I put you over there.
What are you wearing? What are you wearing, huh?
He's the...
For people
Are you
that
wearing it
listen-
because it's
for
in
people that are
Philadelphia?
listening, what are you wearing, Steve?
I'm wearing a Philadelphia Eagles jersey, whereas George Hermoza is wearing some blue thing. He's George Hermoza. Where can the people find you on Twitter, George Hermoza?
It's the defending Super Bowl champions jersey. You can find me on G Hermoza, GHERMOZA, and future Super Bowl champions. Up high.
6-time.
This is not the show for that. I'll be here for the show
Well,
for
you
that.
brought it up. I wish
I
I,
know.
got the memo to wear my Brady jersey, because I have one.
I think there's plenty to talk about tonight. I'm going to run down the card, but before we do, I think we have to talk about the segment that absolutely ended the Royal Rumble, which is Ronda Rousey returning? Not returning. That's not the
debuting.
word. Debuting to point at a sign and not say anything. How do we feel?
You know what? Honestly, for me, I am... Okay, so there are so many people that were saying that she was going to come in and that she was going to win the Rumble and blah-blah-blah-blah. I was really hoping that did not happen because I was one of those people that if Ronda would have won the Rumble, I would have been kind of pissed because I feel like it's a slap to the face for the women that are there full time and, you know, so on and so forth. So to me, I am so happy that she just came out after the Rumble and that they had Asuka take the win because she was my pick, first of all. And for me, I was glad that they had her come out afterwards. However, how she came out and really kind of just did nothing much but just like walk around and do, you know, just like the smile and hey, I'm here and blah 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 blah. Why do I keep saying that? All right, the point is
that's how you see
all
it.
right, sorry,
We get it.
I need to
It's
stop
happening.
saying that. All right, the point is that I'm glad she didn't win the Rumble. I'm happy to see her there. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with her.
This is exactly the way they should have brought her if they were going to bring her into the Rumble. The reason being, you don't want her, like you said, in the actual match because you don't want someone making their debut winning this historic match who might not be a wrestler yet. However, we know how big of a name she is, and we know she was bestowed upon Piper. She was wearing Roddy Piper's jacket on her way to around the ring tonight. So let me ask this, because now we're in WrestleMania season. Obviously, we already joked about it at the beginning. Denise, do you follow football like
No.
regularly? Okay. Are you going to watch the Super Bowl?
Just the halftime show and also the actual game because my boyfriend plays those number things and I want to win money.
Okay, so but no, you're bringing up my point actually.
That I watch, yeah.
That you watch, you know, it's a casual thing. Your boyfriend's gonna be there. You'll sit around. You'll check it out. WrestleMania, as we all call it, is wrestling Super Bowl. So the casual fan is going to watch it. So you need the mainstream marketable names to also be there to draw in, because, you know, if you're just some casual person who doesn't watch wrestling, you might not know who Charlotte is. You certainly don't know who Asuka is. You know who Ronda Rousey is because you've heard about her in movies, you've heard about her on ESPN, you've heard about her from your boyfriend or husband who's a big UFC fan, whatever it may be. By having her do that, now on the road to WrestleMania, you have the seed plant there. So it's like, oh, she's going to do something. Now you start spreading the word. More casual fans are going to be tuning into Mania. That is their draw. I have no problem with this.
I absolutely loved it. I loved every second of it. I think it was just good because I mean, I know we're talking about the end right here, but to me it was about the beginning to the end. You know, the beginning with the Rumble being the main event of the actual thing. I thought it was a perfect ending. I agree with everything that Christian Rosenberg just said. It's the perfect way to just end it. I mean, I'm happy that she wasn't in the Rumble. It kind of make you forgot that she was going to appear because I thought the show was over.
Right.
You know, a lot of people and all of us smart fans that always think we're right. We're like, oh, she's going to be in the Rumble. Well, she wasn't. You know, and kind of obviously they probably did that on purpose to not only go to your point, Denise, but also like, well, nobody's gonna expect her to come out. Hey, she did come out. It was great. It was fantastic. Kudos to her tribute to Piper, not only the jacket but and the shirt as well. Obviously, they kind of have that Jean LaBelle kind of connection as well. So I loved every part of it. Everybody was marking out wherever it was.
Dave Meltzer 5 minutes ago just reported something that may change your opinion, which is, according to Dave Meltzer, so who knows, Ronda Rousey and a partner versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H looks to be the direction for WrestleMania. Why do you need to have her interrupt the final segment of the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match if the plan is for her to have a tag team match, probably with The Rock, something you already set up at WrestleMania 31?
I'll believe it when they start breaking that down.
Yeah,
Fair enough, but like assuming that's the plan, which that's probably the plan, that frustrates me so much. Because this should have been Asuka's moment.
But
and we'll get into the match.
It was Asuka's moment. That doesn't take anything from
Asuka.
And you ended it though with Stephanie giving the evil stare to Rousey. So in other words, Stephanie could be the heel saying she wanted to take credit for having this Rumble, even though it's not necessarily was because of her.
I thought
it was
Stephanie did great, if anything. Go on.
But
we'll get back to that.
But along with that, then you could be like, oh, you ruined my moment. Stephanie could be like, you ruined my moment, Rousey. This was supposed to be like the epitome of what I've done for women's wrestling. So you can go that route. I mean, based on tonight, I don't see it, but it can be done.
And it's just a one. It's not even a one-off. It's not like she's just going to be a one and done.
Right.
She's there.
She's there.
She's there. So it just because she may not face and going back to your point again, yeah, maybe it would be disrespectful for the female rosters to give Rousey an immediate title shot. So now you can't have it both ways. You can't be upset that, well, she might get a title shot, oh, but now she might not. So wait, which one do you prefer? You know?
My favorite part was when she tried to shake Asuka's hand, and Asuka was like,
exactly.
Nah,
And that was something where like,
hype. I don't care
yeah,
about Ronda Rousey. You know.
I feel like there will be plenty of time to circle back to this. We will get started at the very beginning of the night.
The very beginning.
The berry beginning.
Oh.
The berry.
It's the very beginning, but with berries. The very first pre-show match was Kalisto, Grand Metalik, Lince Dorado versus TJP, Gentleman Jack Gallagher, and Drew Gulak. It was a 6-man tag match from the Cruiserweight division. Obviously, the Cruiserweight, obviously, how do you mean it? There's no Cruiserweight champion.
Wait,
So-
what?
Wait,
Yes.
hold on. Then who
What
am
do you mean?
Who am I following at WWE Vacant? I thought he was a champion.
Well, he is the champion, but there's a why theorem to that. If you ask why more than 3 times, he is the champion. He's not a real person. He doesn't exist. He's vacant. So this was the 6-man tag. It was 13 minutes 20 seconds. I'm into it. It was a lot of fun.
That's fine. You know, way to get the crowd going. A little appetizer.
Also, what's funny is I'm sure 2 years ago Drew Gulak played in front of 1,000 people in South Philadelphia. Here we are 2 years later. He has a much bigger contract and he's a much bigger deal. Probably the biggest deal he'll ever be
3 years
in
ago.
his career. They're not. Yeah,
Because you were there.
no, Drew Gulak wasn't.
Drew Gulak is the MVP
Oh, there's
of
Philadelphia.
205
I
Live.
thought you were talking
No,
about
I'm
Philadelphia.
saying Drew Gulak worked
Just in general, yeah, okay.
You trampled the punchline, which was here we are 2 years later. Drew Gulak is still working in front of 1,000 people in South Philadelphia because most of them haven't arrived yet.
Because I know you were at the Royal Rumble show from 3 years ago.
Yes, but
At
that's no.
Philadelphia.
I was saying him.
Okay,
I was just saying
I thought
him.
you saw him at. You were one of the 1,000 people that saw him there.
I was saying him at like arenas
Yeah.
up and down the East Coast.
Denise, is this normal? Do they normally go back and forth?
Yes, they're always going back and forth. How many times I switch my neck this way, that way,
Okay.
this way?
Okay.
No, I mean, yeah.
I feel like George and Steve. I feel like you guys usually tend to be on like the polar opposite of the spectrum.
Well, nobody
so
wants to watch
it's
a
really
show.
interesting to see what you both have to say.
Nobody wants to watch a show where everybody agrees.
Oh
though.
yeah, of course.
No one likes that show.
That's why I love and hate First Take on ESPN because I hate Max Kellerman.
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
the face is over. Kalisto, the masked face is
I
over.
would say I didn't see their
Kalisto-
faces though.
The faces whose faces you can't see. They go over 13 minutes 20 seconds. It was great. Next up, we got a lot of stuff going on pre-show wise. Then we have the Revival and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. This is a continuation of the Raw 25 match, one of the few matches they did see in the Manhattan Center. I liked it. 9 minutes 10 seconds. The Revival over. I like seeing the Revival win and back and doing stuff. And I hope that follows into tomorrow. Do we have any thoughts on that match?
That was good.
Yeah, rubber match tomorrow.
I mean, just real quick though. I know we don't want to get too much into it, but Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, like when they're just kind of freeballing it, that they're just so hilarious. That little social media thing.
Oh God, yes.
It was classic. It reminded me of last year when Jericho and KO were doing that social media with Tom Phillips, and it was like, wait, your password's 699, you sick bastard. You know?
Just less
You
is more.
disgust me, Tom Phillips.
Just less is more sometimes.
Yeah.
The third and final pre-show match, we had Bobby Roode have a U.S. title open challenge
A glorious U.S. Open title open.
Very true. And who was expecting Jinder Mahal?
No.
Just me. Cool. It was Mojo Rawley. Mojo Rawley comes out. They have a 7-minute, 45-minute match. Bobby Roode goes over.
Kind of going off into your Meltzer tweet, or not Meltzer, but Brian Alvarez, who obviously Observer, he tweeted like right afterwards, where the original plan was for, assuming he's right, was for Bobby Roode to face somebody who was later placed in the Royal Rumble match. So we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to, or I guess it's Ziggler. Everybody, the plan was Ziggler, but.
You know, I kind of felt bad for Mojo in a sense because everybody's expecting like, oh, who's it gonna be? You know, everyone's all psyched, and then it's Mojo Rawley. So for a lot of people, I think it was a letdown, and for a second, I kind of think it kind of like killed the crowd.
You have a title match on the kickoff show,
and also too, or like,
be thankful.
I'm not trying to be funny, but like, I can't really get into a Mojo Rawley match unless I see a Twitter promo. Because his Twitter promos are amazing.
His Twitter promos are amazing.
Yeah, it makes me want to see the match itself. So without that, it kind of lacked a little like there's no heat behind the match.
Yeah, I buy that. Like, I don't know. I think that's the problem you run into with an unannounced opponent.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to face somebody next week. Who? Watch.
Yeah.
When they're great, they're great. When they're just Mojo Rawley with no steam, you're like, oh, okay. Whatevs. That's how I felt about this match. We get into the main show. They let us know at kind of the beginning that the match that will open us up is AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Which is an excellent choice to open the show.
That is an excellent choice to open the show. Also, if you had noticed, the ropes were blue for the pre-show. I noticed that the ropes were blue for the pre-show, so now the ropes are blue for the SmackDown Live Heavyweight Champion match. 15 minutes, 55 seconds. I enjoyed this match a lot.
Yeah, I think this was a good match. You know, everything was fun. Like you said, it was a great way to start the show. You know, while I was watching, I kept thinking to myself, like, how great would have this been had it been a triple threat? But nonetheless, this was a good match, and it did what it had to do. Started off slow in the beginning, but built up towards the middle, and then towards the end, it was just kind of like an out-of-nowhere win, and it was fun. I thought it kind of got everybody in the gist of here. We're at the Royal Rumble, and let's get this started.
And we still have the controversy. There's still controversy behind it because Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens did not make contact, so the illegal man was pinned.
That does further their case. I've been outspoken about this Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon business. I like what went down in the ring tonight, so I'm not going to tarnish that with my negativity.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe from a match wise, I feel like it would have been better for a triple threat. But I feel like they probably had this finish in mind when they first announced it, which is why they probably did the tag thing. But again, for what it was, I'm not a big fan of 2 versus 1 handicap, especially when the team of 2 loses and the team of 2 are like, I know that he's the champion, but it's like, I mean. Essentially, he beat 2 high caliber, one being a former Universal Champion.
Well, and it was a rarity because I personally despise these type of matches because to me, it seems to always bury the team of 2. But I feel everyone still looks strong because technically, Owens and Zayn did not lose the match based on that tag. So they're still strong. They have a legit argument for it. AJ looks strong because he's champion and held his own against 2 of them by himself. No interference, which was nice for this match, and not have Shane or Daniel Bryan at ringside at all. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very good opener.
And it kind of continues the whole Daniel Bryan and Shane conflict because Daniel Bryan's going to bring up like, well, he never tagged. He's right. Daniel Bryan, even though he's siding with it looks like a lot Sami and KO, like he's right. Just because they're bad doesn't mean somebody's not right. So I'm looking forward to Tuesday and the continuation of that storyline.
That is definitely true. I'm definitely looking forward to the continuation of this storyline. I'm trying to get some graphics fixed. They may or may not be fixed in time, but I will very briefly run down what people thought about this match predictions-wise, which is here. 86.6% thought it would be AJ Styles. That's all I really need to talk about. 11.6 Kevin Owens.
That honestly surprised me was that lopsided.
That early it was not, but as the weekend progressed, that's where it started to go. 86.6 AJ Styles. That seems about right. Fairly lopsided AJ Styles, and we can move right on to SmackDown's second match of the evening, third if you count the pre-shows. The Usos versus Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin in a 2 out of 3 falls match. That goes 13 minutes 55 seconds, with the Usos winning both falls. Was anyone else shocked by this?
I think so, just because it happened so fast. I think for a second after the first pinfall, you're thinking, okay, well, there's still going to be some time for this match, and then it comes out of nowhere, and they're like, okay, well, that's it. Honestly, for me, I thought this match was a little bit slow. I thought that out of everybody, I thought Gable was the one that shined the most. I didn't really like the dynamics today with Shelton and him as a tag team. For some reason, it was just a little bit off. But, I mean, this match was just there.
Gable and Benjamin fell off their game plan. The game plan was attack the knee. They attacked it for the first 5-6 minutes and then forgot about it. And like you had to keep working on that because it would have weakened him. You could have done the classic: take a chair to the knee, get DQ for the first fall, and then just swipe up that second fall right away. And then he's still injured, head into the third one. So they dropped the ball in it, but it was nice. It was a nice change to have someone win a 2 out of 3 falls match 2-0. Because it's been a while.
It is. It's like it's like years ago when the Big Show won the Battle Royal. Because sometimes the Giant needs to win the Battle Royal. Sometimes the dominant team needs to win 2 falls out of 3 falls.
And I'm happy to see the Usos win. I feel like they've kind of lost a little bit of momentum in the past few weeks. I mean, it feels like maybe back in April, May, June, we saw them like every single week absolutely killing it on the mic. Oh my God, I love their mic work. Obviously, they're legendary feud with the New Day, but I feel like they haven't really been that. I guess, are they faces? Are they heels?
They're faces.
They're definitely faces.
Like, I'm kind of a little upset about that because obviously
their faces want to welcome people to a penitentiary.
Yeah, and so I'm kind of happy that they got that mic time before the match, and yeah, I'm kind of happy that they showed that. Given the Young Bucks a run for their super kick money.
I almost feel like because the Usos had such a great chemistry with the New Day that it's kind of like they still haven't found that team that they can have that chemistry with again. Where, like you said, during those months, it was every month that we were here, we were like, oh, we love this match. This match was great. It was better than last month. But I kind of feel like they haven't found that other pair to kind of continue their momentum.
Just wait for the Bludgeon Brothers. Just wait for the Bludgeon Brothers.
So
it's happening.
That is a good question. Do you think we're building to the Bludgeon Brothers soon?
Who else? Who else on SmackDown right now?
There are a lot of tag teams on SmackDown.
There are a lot of tag teams, but who else has the momentum? Breezango and Ascension aren't doing
present.
They're there.
They're entertaining.
They've done the New Day. They just finished with Gable and Benjamin.
Honestly, I would love maybe by the next pay-per-view. And again, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my God, you're so right." I love for Sami and KO to challenge for those belts and actually
That would
win.
be great too.
I would really like that to definitely move forward.
I know a lot of indie diehards would love that too. Obviously, former Ring of Honor champions, like now kind of, and they work really well together.
Also, everyone in the chat is saying Rusev Day.
That would be another good one.
We cannot discount Aiden English and Rusev.
I wouldn't love them. I wouldn't like them to win. I just want to see Rusev succeed on his own with Aiden English being as like the hype man.
Islana.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, I think Rusev and Aiden English versus Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn would be fun. Just even if it's like a one-off, maybe that's all we'll get. I did send new graphics. They're in the email box, but I'll run through this match. This match was a coin flip. 50.9% said Chad Gable, Shelton Benjamin.
Can't get much closer.
49.1% said the Usos. Quite literally a coin flip. Congrats to the half of you that actually got this one right. And now we are going to move on to the men's Royal Rumble match.
Were you surprised that this was at this point in the show?
Absolutely. Were you?
No.
Not even a little?
No, because it also made sense because they literally had all of SmackDown go and then they had all of Raw go. So you had, this is where you kind of started mixing them because you had Byron Saxton on commentary with it. And then from there, you had the Raw matches and then the Raw Rumble.
Like, you knew that it wasn't going to be
Women's
back-to-back. You just knew. Like, yeah. At least I thought I knew. Yeah, so I thought they'd have at least one of the World Championship matches in between. But yeah, I didn't know it was going to be the third match. I thought it'd be like the fourth or the fifth, but not the...
I tripped out, actually. I wasn't expecting it because I didn't get to watch the show live. And when I saw that this was happening on Twitter, I was like, wait, the men's Royal Rumble is starting now? And I was like, oh, man, they're really like pushing, like, the women's Rumble. Like, this is going to be huge. They're going to do something, blah, 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 which we all heard with Ronda Rousey. But I was actually really shocked that they had it earlier. I imagined it flipped.
Definitely. So let's get started. Rusev out with Aiden English.
I love how over Rusev is.
Oh, he's so
I just
over.
love how, like, I hope they don't write this off as a Philly thing. Like, I hope they understand that this is everywhere.
It's
Yeah,
been
it is
everywhere.
everywhere, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you and I both know that sometimes they write stuff like this off as a Rusev thing or as a Philadelphia
Well,
thing.
no. I don't think it's just anything. I just think because look at Bannies Barrett. I mean, I agree that I wouldn't be surprised if they write it off. But look at Bannies Barrett. That guy was super over everywhere. But I was like, oh, well, he's getting too over. It's like, dude, let him get over.
They have Rusev calendars for sale on WWE Shop now.
Dude, those are the best.
And every
I want
day
one.
is
Those are the
Rusev Day.
best.
I want one.
They're
I
like
want
$10
one
bucks.
so
I thought
bad.
if they're like $30, I'd still buy it. But it's like $10.
Right.
I'll buy 3.
You know, I think that Rusev is having those moments that not a lot of guys have where, you know, we saw this with Daniel Bryan where they hit like this peak where everyone was like, oh, I love this guy. Like, we got to push this guy to the moon. I feel like Rusev is right there right now for
Yeah.
him where everybody's just like, oh, like, no one hates Rusev. I haven't heard anyone tell me they hate Rusev.
I just hope they
you
don't
know?
kill it, though.
Exactly. They have the hype right now. So
I
what I'm
don't-
saying
yeah.
is take advantage of that hype, you know?
I don't think it has anything to do with Philly. But I just hope they don't kill it.
I hope they don't.
Because they killed Bannies Barrett, and that could have been super over.
They killed Fandango similarly.
Yeah.
I know
He's still big in the UK.
He's still huge in the Fandangoing is still a thing in the UK. Rusev comes out, and then the number 2 man who comes out is Finn Balor. Finn Balor is the Iron Man of this match because he comes out number 2 and does not leave till number 27. But these two go at it. Number 3 is Rhino, who is on the Raw roster. That's news to me. I'm looking at it right now. ECW alumni Rhino.
He's been with Heath
Yeah.
Slater.
Since the Superstar Shakeup in April.
But have we seen him though?
Yes,
Yeah.
last month.
They just
they've
saw-
been
he was just on
regularly.
Raw.
Well,
Every
Raw
mo-
25
every-
is non-canonical.
Every Monday for the last like 4 or 5 weeks, he's been out there trying to toughen
did
up
the-
Heath
yeah.
Slater. It's been a story. Thanks for paying attention.
Fair enough. Out after him, Baron Corbin. They make a big deal about Baron Corbin.
Oh my God.
They make a big deal about Baron Corbin because this pay-per-view last year, Baron Corbin eliminates Braun Strowman, has an incredible showing. Baron Corbin won elimination, 54 seconds.
I forgot Corbin was even in it until
That's-
you mentioned him. Like, oh yeah, that's right. He was like not in it all.
Yeah, see, they killed Sandow as well. Forgot about him.
Yeah, Sandow's another good example of just something they overtoyed with.
What are they doing with Corbin?
I
I don't understand.
I feel like they fluctuate with him at this point, you know? Like, there's this moments where I think the Baron Corbin hype is over, and just when I think, okay, he's just gonna go and be lost in oblivion, then he comes back. And then again, he's lost in oblivion. There was a few people throughout this Rumble where I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about them. Okay. He was one of those.
I think Baron Corbin unfortunately falls in the category of, not category, but just, there are so many people on that roster. Like, so many people. Like, sometimes they don't even have Nakamura on the show. They don't have Orton on the show.
Oh, no.
It's like, oh my God, like, they have so many guys. And unfortunately, Baron Corbin falls into the guy where he's not necessary to be on every week, but it's like, you won't really miss him. Oh yeah, we got him. Let's put him in a match, you know? It's like,
And then you can use him, like, if he had turned up at the U.S. title, the glorious U.S. Open Challenge tonight, that would have also made sense. And
Yeah.
we would have,
Yeah,
looking
I
at it
agree.
now, probably been a better place for him.
yeah.
Like, Mojo could have had a bit more impact here. What is impactful of Baron Corbin at number 4 is he throws a temper tantrum, beats everybody up. Beats everybody up, including Heath Slater, who comes out number 5,
I love this.
who lays there for easily 6 entrants. And I love it so much.
Heath Slater is up there for MVP of this Rumble.
He's definitely...
I mean, he was so damn entertaining this year for not doing doing next to nothing.
Yep.
Just every time someone, no, I'm gonna just kick you down some more. I'm
I
gonna
like
feed
that.
you pancakes. I'm gonna whatever it was.
I honestly thought it would go a bit longer than that. After him, we got Elias. Elias, of course, they set something up with Elias.
He's the best.
Oh, and also they clear everything, so there's no action in the ring. There's no action happening anywhere. Elias comes out with a guitar and then starts playing. He gets all that time. After Elias, we got Andrade Cien Almas, the current NXT World Heavyweight Champion. This is the first time in Royal Rumble history. The current
I wonder if they're going to do that
NXT
now.
champion.
If the NXT champion is going to be on the Rumble every year.
I'd like that.
Might
I
have
would like
started
that.
it.
I would like that tradition.
I was surprised as to where they put him. Like, oh, you're having him come in with Elias,
Yeah.
which is interesting because you would have thought they would have had him come in and have a face off with a top face.
A, with the top face, or B, have him face off with somebody he had already worked with, like Nakamura.
Sure.
Like somebody he had already worked with that had gone up. And that you could like establish that. They did a lot more of that in the Women's Rumble. than the men's Rumble, but you could definitely do that with Andrade Almas. He comes out. Bray Wyatt comes out.
Can I just say really quick before we get through Andrade Cien Almas, I thought that his match was so incredible.
Oh, God,
NXT
last night's
TakeOver
match.
with Johnny Gargano. That was so brilliant. And then to have him come out here tonight, it was just kind of like keep the energy up. Yes, can't wait to see you become like an even bigger star here.
Yeah, all about him. It's one of those things that sometimes when an NXT person turns up on the Royal Rumble, sometimes they show up the next night, sometimes they're down in NXT for another 6 months. I'm pretty sure he's going
to be down there.
Yeah, Andrade, he's the champ.
Yeah.
He's the champ. It's one thing if you like the way that match went last night and how over he is. If he had lost last night and then turned up tonight, I'd be like, oh, he's on Raw now.
Yes.
Good for him. Good for him. I hope they find a spot for him. Bray Wyatt out number 8. He lasts 20 minutes, gets 1 elimination. Big E out number 9. He feeds Heath Slater the pancakes.
Spoiler alert.
Sami Zayn out number 10. Wait, that's not right. Ty Dillinger is announced number 10. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens beat him down backstage.
Is it amazing what a year can do to somebody? Last year at number 10, the crowd went insane when Dillinger's music hit. This year, number 10, Dillinger's music hits.
Ah.
It's him again. Oh, he's getting beat up. That's cool.
Oh, because I don't know.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
That's another thing where it's like there's just too many people on that roster.
Yeah.
Like they're calling up all these guys. I'm like, it's only a 2-hour show. There's only so many minutes allotted to certain things.
And to give them credit, they didn't call him up this time last year. He
Oh,
went
yeah.
to the Rumble and then went back down, and then they called him up later.
SmackDown after Mania.
And then still, they just kind of found it happened. Sami Zayn comes out in his place. He lasts 6 minutes, 45 seconds. Sheamus comes out, number 11. He gets knocked out by Heath Slater in 2 seconds.
But he's the
That
one
was
who
great.
throws Heath into the ring.
Heath could have stayed on the outside
That was
literally
great.
forever up until Sheamus.
Very Maven Undertaker-esque.
Oh my God, yes.
2002.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard when this happened. And
That was you?
yeah, it was me. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
But I love the fact that Sheamus, with all the accomplishments that this guy's had in his career, because nobody talks about that, you can make the argument that Sheamus is the most decorated superstar ever. And
Who makes that argument?
huh?
Who makes that argument?
A lot of people forget the fact that he's
Whatever,
won everything.
Jericho.
Huh?
Jericho's won everything.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has.
Jericho's not won a Rumble or Money in the Bank or King of the Ring.
Well, Sheamus hasn't won a lot of those things either. Or
Sheamus
a
won
lot.
all those. The only thing,
No.
the only thing that Sheamus has not won is the Intercontinental
He's
title.
never won WrestleMania, or he's never main evented WrestleMania.
Denise, I think it might be George. I think it just might be George and anyone.
Well, obviously, if you're gonna throw facts around me, I'm gonna.
Sheamus has been WWE champion, world
Has
champion.
Jericho main evented Tokyo? I'm sorry, has Sheamus main evented Tokyo Dome?
Not yet.
I'm talking about WWE.
Sheamus is career-wise. Sheamus is younger than Jericho.
And he's a lot younger.
We're not here to have that debate. That debate I will set up next week.
What I'm trying to say is the fact that someone as accomplished as him is willing to do something so comical and so quick in it just makes me add even more respect to him.
I feel he's underrated.
Well,
Sheamus.
that too.
There you go. He's underrated. I like the commentary was pushing. It's his birthday. I was like,
Oh my
what?
goodness, how
It's
dare
Sheamus'
Heath
birthday?
Slater.
But anyways, yeah, that was funny.
Xavier Woods out. He lasts 8 minutes. Apollo Crews out. He lasts 5 minutes.
Everyone booed Apollo Crews.
That's unfortunate.
don't know why.
Apollo Crews is another guy. I was there the Raw after Mania like three years ago, where
I was
he
there
was
with you.
he was the it thing. Like he was everything,
Yeah.
and then
Like you said, it can make it can make a difference a year or whatever.
number 14, some guy none of us have ever heard of comes out. Shinsuke Nakamura, representing SmackDown. He's in the match for 44 minutes. He has 3 eliminations. Number 15 is Cesaro. Huge pop for Cesaro. Lukewarm for Sheamus. But Cesaro obviously...
Everyone loves Cesaro.
Cesaro, obviously, Philadelphia connection. He was Claudio Castagnoli in Philadelphia and the rest of the world. He's Cesaro here. He does well. Kofi Kingston, Jinder Mahal. Kind of running through it because this is one of 30 participant matches. Seth Rollins out with some weird tights.
Bam Bam Bigelow. That's what I thought. Bam Bam Bigelow meets Harlem Heat. That's what I thought.
Oh,
There was a lot of Harlem Heat.
I thought Bam Bam meets Adam Bomb.
Yeah.
That's honestly what I thought.
Matt Hardy out, stares down with Bray Wyatt. This Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt stuff was a lot of fun.
Really?
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 Sorry.
It's Denise that
I'm
did
not sold on Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. Sorry, I'm that person.
Well, they
Make me
blew
all
it
you
off in a
want.
match last week. I don't blame you for
Yeah,
that.
and it was super blah. Sorry.
It happened.
Whatever.
Matt Hardy last 1 minute, 2 seconds. Him and Bray Wyatt exit each other. John Cena.
Delete each other.
Delete each
You
other.
gotta know these things. You gotta know
Sorry.
these things.
Number 20 is John Cena, who is a free agent. He makes it a long time, 28 minutes. After him, also a free agent, the Hurricane, Shane Helms. He lasts 24 seconds, being eliminated by John Cena. Number 22.
Your next 205 Live GM. Or your first 205 Live GM.
The Hurricane?
I think it's going to be Hurricane.
I think it's somebody whose name I'm going to... Another free agent whose name I'll announce later down this line. I think that would be way more fun, unless that person's a cruiserweight under Hurricane Helms, who's the general manager. We'll get there. Number 22, second time, Aiden English. He's out. He lasts 2 minutes, 5 seconds before being eliminated by Finn Balor. Number 23, Adam Cole, Bay. Do we think this is an actual call-up?
No.
Fair enough. He's eliminated by Rey Mysterio in 6 minutes, 34 seconds. Out number 24, the man who scares me in these matches, Mr. Randy Orton. He is one of 2 people in this matchup who have won 2 Royal Rumble matches, the other being John Cena. The only person to have won 3 Royal Rumble matches is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Somebody will break that record. It's just a matter of when. Randy Orton scared me because he had no business winning this match. But here he is.
I don't think anybody's going to break the record.
It's going to be a
tie.
It's going to be a long
They might
time
tie it.
before
Yeah, I don't
someone
think.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long time before
I don't
somebody
see
breaks it.
Cena winning 2 more, Orton winning 2 more.
No.
Fair enough. But Randy Orton, he lasts about 13 minutes. Titus O'Neil out, number 25.
That's who I thought was going to win.
Is that really? Like,
No.
5 minutes, 53 seconds, eliminated by Roman Reigns. Number 26 is The Miz. He is out. He is out after 5 minutes. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, we all saw that. And number 27, my favorite entrant, surprise entrant of the night, free agent Rey Mysterio, who looks incredible.
This is the best shape he's been in forever.
Yeah. He looked his absolute best tonight.
Yes. He looked amazing. And I honestly, I felt like I was watching WCW Rey Mysterio tonight. Like, he was moving around just like he was in the late 90s.
He looked great. He's
Yeah.
out number 27.
Reports are saying he might just be a one-time thing, but I would love for him to be back permanently. I've been saying for months that I think he should be on 205 Live. He should be that. I think that show, or he is what that show is missing, as far as having that veteran presence that they don't have, if anything.
I think he brought. I think at this point the Rumble was good, and at the point where Rey Mysterio came out, it took it to the next level where it's a lot better.
Yeah, and it was a massive surprise.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is
No one
also
expected this.
And this is also a makeup for the Pittsburgh Royal Rumble where Rey Mysterio was number 30 and he got booed mainly because he wasn't Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, that's
So
why
he
they
got
brought him
booed
back.
because he got nude. He got booed for no fault.
What show were you watching?
Oh man, he got booed by no fault of his own. So it's good that he got to reclaim that in a Royal Rumble match. Out after him, somebody Philadelphia did not like it was Roman Reigns.
Dude, they're so weird. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. How is not liking Roman Reigns weird?
Because they cheered him by the end of the year when he won the WWE Championship against Sheamus.
Because he was actually good by the
Nothing's
he's always
changed.
been
if
good.
anything,
I'm
he's
sorry.
gotten better in
His-
the last 2 years.
his character got better by the end of that year.
His character has never been better as of today.
That's not true.
I
That is
agree with
very
George.
Whatever. He's on number 28. He lasts 21
I
minutes.
know
He
he's gonna
eliminates
lose
4
the
people.
argument.
He eliminates 4 people. Out number 29 is Gold Dust representing Raw. He is eliminated by number 30, who is Dolph Ziggler. Number 30 was
Oh,
interesting this
God.
week. This week as well.
This was the only thing in the Rumble that upset me, honestly.
Ziggler?
Ziggler. So we have the whole story of him dropping the title. He lost his smile, whatever it might have been, and he leaves. Him coming in 30, okay, makes total sense for him to have this surprise appearance, and then he's out in, how long was it? You have the times. Was it
1 minute, 35 seconds.
I was thinking 2 minutes. It was even less than that. What is the point of having this big return after the storyline where you vacated a title yourself, not by getting fired like some other people, and then you're eliminated in a minute and a half? This made 0 sense to me.
Didn't make any sense to me either. We're in agreement on that. I think they were expecting a bigger reaction for Dolph Ziggler's presence.
I think it was more just like the, hey guys, I'm here in case you guys didn't know, like I'm back and ready to kick this thing off again. That's what I kind of feel. It was just like a reminder, hey guys, Dolph Ziggler still exists.
I love Ziggler, but yeah, I think it's just going to be a continuation of them not knowing what to do with him.
That seems about right. And I think his contract is up, and he's stated publicly he didn't want to renegotiate.
I don't think it is.
Based on him appearing tonight, I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
Fair enough. I think it's up after Mania season. Like, I don't know any of the specifics, but I don't think.
Well, when his contract is up, do you guys think that he should kind of just bite the bullet and say, this is it, this is as far as I've gone with WWE and go elsewhere?
I think he's going to go to
Japan.
Japan.
Stay?
I think he's going to go to Japan.
I think he's going to come out here, and join a Harold team at UCB.
I think
it'll be the most watched Harold team in the history of improv.
I don't know what that is. Harold?
It's a style of improv. It's a style of improv.
But I think he goes to Japan.
I can see Ring of Honor.
Fair enough. Shinsuke Nakamura.
Is there a drinking game for how many?
I was thinking the same thing right now.
You've said it like 10 times.
I was thinking the same thing. Continue.
Fair enough.
Don't use that as a drinking game, listeners. You will die. Don't do that.
This match, 1 hour, 5 minutes, 35 seconds. Shinsuke Nakamura wins after last eliminating Roman Reigns. When we were down to a final 4, who was worried it wouldn't be Nakamura?
It was what? Nakamura, Balor,
and Balor,
Cena
and then
Reigns.
Cena and Reigns, and then Cena and Reigns essentially representing the old guard, and then Nakamura, Balor.
Well, you had that with 6 people too,
Yeah,
because you had Mysterio.
Yeah.
And who was
Mysterio, Cena, or Mysterio
and Orton. Orton was there too at that point.
Was it Mysterio, Cena, Orton?
No, it was Mysterio, Cena, Reigns, and then you have Balor, Nakamura, and another young guy who I'm forgetting. Chat roll, help me, please.
It was on one side. It was
Yeah, it was Nakamura, Balor, and someone, and the other side was Cena, Reigns, and Mysterio. Oh no! Reigns was with the young guys.
Yeah.
That was Cena, Orton, and Mysterio.
Yeah, I told you you were tripping me. I was like, wait, I remember Orton being there.
You're right.
Literally.
That's why we don't remember it, because we don't
don't
see Roman Reigns that way.
I thought that was so cool though.
That was really cool. Like kind of a pass and change of the
because it really is. You think about where everybody was 10 years ago. You had Cena with an amazing Rumble appearance. You had, I believe, Orton was defending the championship at Mania, and I think it was the next year, but where Mysterio had a big time match with the Undertaker. But yeah, I mean, look at where those 3 guys were 10 years ago, and now it's like really the new. And it's funny because Nakamura was like the same age as Cena, but like you really think of like now who they are like these guys are going to be main eventing WrestleMania, especially Roman, who's main event already the last 3 WrestleManias.
It's so weird because at one point they were the young guys, you know, they were the ones that were like, they have this bright future ahead of them. And now, like, it didn't really hit me until they did that dividing face off. I was like, wow, time has really gone by.
Real quick with the percents, 37.5 thought it would be Nakamura. Only 5% thought it would be John Cena. The other 2 people worth mentioning are Finn Balor, 22.3%, and Roman Reigns, 15.2%. It's worth noting when I released this form on Wednesday, Roman Reigns was not an official participant. And still 15.2%.
How many said Daniel Bryan?
How many percent said Daniel Bryan? 5.4.
See, I don't get it.
I don't either.
It still lives in people.
I guess.
It's hope. It's faith.
I guess.
Oh, God. You saw me. I was on your show last Tuesday, like, rallying against whoever moved the sports books Tuesday to make Daniel Bryan a favorite. And I'm like, he's not in the match. If he'd be in the match, we'd know tonight.
And here's the one thing, too. Why, after this match ended, did we have Renee be like, hey, Shinsuke, which title are you going for?
They announced that this morning. They announced that this morning.
But I didn't like it when they announced it this morning either.
Yeah,
because by choosing, it really makes one title over the other one. Just say, hey, you won for SmackDown, now you're going to face them. But I mean, I guess they wanted that AJ Styles pop. Who knows?
They wanted the AJ Styles pop. B, they wanted to create that moment that we already talked about with Ronda. And B, traditionally, and by traditionally,
that's actually a good point. Actually, I agree with you.
Traditionally, I also want to point out that of the Rumbles with the brand extension or the brand existing, the split brands existing, that's happened more often than it hasn't. I'm actually really happy they didn't make us wait 2 days for Nakamura to say AJ Styles.
Oh, yeah.
They asked him right then and there.
I like that.
Because that usually didn't happen either.
Because then you would have had Nakamura start showing up on Raw and on SmackDown. And
yeah, exactly. Like,
I don't want the mesh.
They've done a really good job, keeping them different for the most part. Exception for obviously the Survivor Series were invading. But yeah, I mean, I really want to keep it as separate as if I have a choice. I really want them to keep it as separate as they can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's get into the next match, which was the Colonel Battle Royal.
Skip it.
I'm kidding.
No,
Ric Flair was the Colonel. It's a commercial.
It was the ghost of
It's
Colonel
funny because
Sanders
now that
with
you
the
mention it,
white
I
robe.
was thinking when did they film this? But I guess they filmed it early on that day.
It looked like they filmed it in the empty Wells Fargo arena. They could have done that yesterday though. The ring was already set up for NXT. They could have
But
changed.
the ropes were blue. I think they did it this morning. Whatever.
Yeah, either this morning or yesterday. They had time. They've been there all weekend. Cesaro and Sheamus versus Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan for the Raw Tag Team Championships. This was 12 minutes 49 seconds, and it had the unfortunate placement on this card, which is the match after the Royal Rumble match.
And it's not even that, because obviously that's not the first time it's happened, you know, where the Rumble match wasn't the last match.
Yeah.
But that crowd was so hot for Nakamura that it was like, here's 4 guys, well, 3.5, because Jordan, not that he's not world class, but like obviously he's hurt, he can't do much. But it's like, dude, here's like guys that like can go. And you never would have thought that with the matches. I'm not saying it was a bad match. It's like you never would have thought that with the way the crowd was toward the match.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the bathroom break, which you don't want to have a match considered be the bathroom break match, because it was a good match, and with the story being told of Jason Jordan somehow not being able to not be dizzy, and it's like, oh no, Seth, you got this. I can't. I'm sorry.
I like more and more what they're doing with him every week.
Yeah,
Yes.
me too. I have nothing to rag on this match other than it wasn't what I thought would happen.
And Sheamus and Cesaro won. New champs.
Exactly. I like that. I like that. The only reason I would have to not like that is because that's not how I predicted it, and that's not how storytelling works.
Who's next for Sheamus and Cesaro?
Whoever wins the rubber match between Revival and Club.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
What are the other there aren't that many tag teams on Raw.
No, there aren't.
You either call up the Authors of Pain.
I was gonna say, I think it feels like almost the Raw or SmackDown after every Big Four, somebody comes up.
Yeah.
Last one was Absolution and Riot Squad. Last Rumble last year was Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
So I actually do think AOP is gonna come up in the next 2 days.
I'd like that. Authors of Pain and anybody, really, but Authors of Pain with Sheamus and Cesaro, I'm all about it. The tag team scene is pretty crowded in SmackDown.
Authors of
Raw is
Pain
where
should
they
go
go.
to Raw. Yes.
Great, settled. Authors of Pain to Raw. We announced it right here, right now. That's happening. Tweet about it. It's happening.
Don't tweet until it happens.
Also, this match prediction-wise, I will mention, was also a coin flip. It was 49-1, 50.9. 49-1 for Cesaro Sheamus. Definitely a coin flip. Really hard to predict. Good job, WWE, making it hard for us to predict.
Yep.
A match that was not hard to predict. Brock Lesnar versus Kane versus Braun Strowman, a triple threat match for the Universal Championship match. For the Universal Championship. It was 10 minutes, 55 seconds.
I thought this match was also kind of fell into that kind of a little bit. They're still a little exhausted from the previous Rumble, and they're looking forward to the other Rumble, because there was a lot of good moments in this match, but I think that the audience and the viewers back home probably didn't react the way they should, or at least I kind of felt like I didn't, because I was kind of like waiting, or I was exhausted from seeing the previous Rumble, etc. But there was a lot of table spots, which was fun. It was good, 3 big guys that are gruesome. This is what we kind of want to see them do.
5 tables. 5 tables destroyed.
The Royal Rumble match is so much Rumble, so much table.
If there's anything I learned from this match, is don't piss off Brock Lesnar.
Oh my God.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't knee him.
And
in
it's
the
funny
head.
because like the knee didn't even look like it was not safe. It looks like they got with the good meat part of the knee, but apparently it was enough for Brock Lesnar to punch you in the face afterwards.
Thank God for Braun. Brock was wearing the glove.
Yeah.
Do we think this was a work, or do we think this was legit? Not like
That was a 5-second shoot.
yeah, do we think one of them was a work? I thought the knee was a work, but it was
the knee was
harder.
a work,
It was harder than Brock expected it, and then Brock just took a receipt.
Yeah.
That's what it looked. Because he rocked Braun Strowman for a good 10 seconds.
Like that's one of those where like if you're watching an MMA match, the ref would be right there after that stumble.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
The ref would be right there to call the match to save that person's life. It's good to know when Brock takes a receipt, it's one hit. It's one hit, yeah, he's down. Cool. This match was fun. Brock Lesnar matches follow a very specific standard, a very specific run. It's not as good as that Lesnar Goldberg match, which was just a mile a minute, everything you could ever expect. But I enjoyed it. 84.8% thought it would be Brock Lesnar. They were correct.
Yep. Kane got the pin, which we figured.
Yeah, Kane definitely took the pin. I think if they wanted to do any type of shocker here, it wouldn't have been Braun Strowman winning. It would have been Kane.
Which would put so many people in an uproar if that happened.
It would have been a thing.
It would have been a big thing.
It would have just. So, let's get to the main event of the evening. The main event, of course, being the match that ends the show. It is the 30-woman Royal Rumble match. How do we feel about this match?
Honestly, overall, as a whole, with everything, I think that I personally enjoyed the Women's Rumble way more than the Men's Rumble.
Ooh.
Yeah, gonna throw that out there. Not just because I'm a girl.
I absolutely loved everything about this match. I loved it from start to finish.
I thoroughly enjoyed this match as well. The only thing, and I'm thinking on the long term, because this is the first ever, which means you got to have one next year.
Don't say my joke. Go ahead.
I don't know what your joke was.
Well, we're gonna find out.
I can't read minds. You can't have all these legends come in every year.
Yeah.
Some of them did great. Some of them was like, thanks for stopping by, but it was cool to see you.
Yeah.
So over this next year, you're really going to have to add as much women as we might feel are on SmackDown. If you want this to be successful and not have it just feel a callback for all legends, you're going to have to bring up probably at least another 6 women.
Yeah, because that's how many.
Which I see
between
happening.
Raw and SmackDown, at least.
Which I see happening. I mean, I feel like because it was the first, I feel like there was. That's
No,
why.
I loved how they did it for the first one.
I'm optimistic that they're not going to have to rely on a lot of the legends every year. I feel like maybe 2 or 3. But then even so, like, even when they bring back one of those legends, it's like you don't really see them every year. So I'm kind of curious. Like, I don't think we're going to see Trish or Lita next year.
Yeah,
No.
I think it was more just the first one because, you know, these women did so much for the business and then, they're not going to be in the first Rumble. Then you know what? Throw them in. And then also, I feel like at the Mae Young Classic, they had so many women that have, like, a lot of potential. They just got to keep working at it. I think that maybe in the next year, once they start getting called up, that, we're going to see them. And there is more women. They're probably
Like,
just,
I think next year we'll probably see, like, Victoria in or something like that,
Also,
just
sure.
as a throwback.
Also, the main roster for a 30-woman Rumble match, we've been saying this for months, is a little slim. The WWE personnel roster is chock full of women. Like, including the Mae Young Classic, just women down in the developmental.
Something to think about, too. In the last, 2-3 weeks, Paige wasn't in the match.
Yep.
Alicia Fox got scrapped today because of an injury.
I feel so bad for Alicia.
Was that?
I'm serious.
Okay, good.
No, I'm serious. You were supposed to be in that match.
Yeah,
and you
I feel
got
bad.
injured today.
Yeah.
That does suck. Out first, Sasha Banks, who is the Iron Woman of this match, out in number 1, out number 27. She squares off with Becky Lynch. They go for it. Sarah Logan out after that. Mandy Rose out after that. Lita, Hall of Famer Lita, out to represent. And I think part of having legends in this matchup, specifically Hall of Fame winners like Lita, Hall of Fame winners, Hall of Famers like Lita, is to let it represent what this is moving forward for the women's division. Out after her, a very big favorite of mine, Kairi Sane, down up from NXT, which is down. My words are bad today.
I like that they included Ember Moon and Kairi Sane because were there any other NXT women?
Those
No,
are the
just
only
2.
NXT
So I
women.
like that because it's like it wasn't just random. It was, well, here's the NXT Women's Champion. Here's the
Mae Young.
Classic winner.
Yeah.
So I'd like to think that, like I said before, that maybe every year you're going to see at least the NXT Women's Champion get the opportunity as champion to go on to WrestleMania and main event. So I like that they had only both those. I mean, initially I was like, I would have liked to see Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. But I think they made the right call and only including these 2 women from NXT.
True.
I do like, and I credit Mandy Rose for this because she's taken in stride on Twitter and everything like that. She's tweeted out how she made history because she was the very first woman eliminated from the Women's Royal Rumble match. And I appreciate her like tweeting that out herself. And
That's gonna get forgotten though, because who's the first man eliminated from Royal Rumble?
I wanna say-
I don't know either.
do you not know that? I figured you would. I want to say Tito Santana for some reason. Because I feel like he's the first for a lot of things.
Well, because I know Brett and Tito, I think, were the first 2.
They were the
in
first 2
Rumble.
entrants.
Yeah.
That's why I think Tito was the first
Maybe.
eliminated. Chat roll, tell us. But
yes.
And then also, how about the You Still Got a Chance for Lita?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was hot.
And it's funny, she was just here in LA like yesterday.
Yeah,
Was she really? Yeah,
she was at.
I mean,
there's
granted.
there's like a
Yeah.
Frankenstein's collectible signing place out here in California
Granted,
that
that
she
means-
was at yesterday.
Yeah, granted that means nothing because The Rock was, hosting SNL on Saturday and in San Jose the next day.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to Google.
Okay,
Royal
let's keep
Rumble.
talking.
I was trying to Google the
So
88
Lita,
Royal
yeah.
Rumble.
I mean, and plus, like, I'm kudos to her for pulling off that moonsault as well. Because obviously,
Yes.
with the, I mean, everybody's like, "Oh, well, she's not gonna because of the neck issues." I'm like, she came back after her neck surgery and still hit a bunch of moonsaults. So I'm sure, you know.
And it's expected. You know, you're gonna see Lita. You're
Yeah.
gonna want to see her do that moonsault.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, it is worth noting Lita got the first elimination of
Eliminating
of
Mandy.
a women. Yeah, eliminating Mandy of a women's Royal Rumble match. That's awesome. Kairi Sane, everything Kairi Sane did here is awesome. Out next, Tamina.
In white.
Tamina's in white now.
That was different.
We keep trying to think of positive things to say about Tamina because it's not about her personally. It's just they just kind of put her out
Yeah,
there.
I am not really like. You mean, and maybe it's not her fault. It just they don't do anything with her. She's like a second generation wrestler. It's like, yeah.
And she's the oldest on the roster now.
Butch Reed. Sorry.
Huh?
Butch Reed
What's
is
the first one?
the first person eliminated from the 1980.
Maybe it was by
Jake
Tito.
Roberts.
Okay, then I don't know. Which
Jake Roberts made the first elimination in televised Royal Rumble history because there were 2 non-televised Royal Rumbles. That's a whole thing.
Okay.
Moving forward, we got Dana Brooke out, then Tori Wilson, who looked great.
Oh,
Super
she
hot.
looked amazing.
She's gotten hotter.
Yeah,
Well, I think they said she's doing like a fitness coach.
Yeah, she's got a whole fitness
she's got
thing
a really
going.
good fitness thing going. Like it's an app, I think.
Yeah, I
it's
think so.
it's like an Apple TV app that you have to it's like a monthly subscription. It's real good. I don't work for her. I'm not gonna plug anymore.
Good for her. I feel like a lot of the women that we saw here today, you know, obviously they're older, you know, can't deny time goes by, but they just look so good.
Yes.
Like I can't say that one of them didn't age well because they all aged well. I was really like, yeah. You
Well,
go,
Kelly
girl.
Kelly's still like 29 or.
Well, she'd
Well,
been
Kelly
debuted
was
at
young.
times
Talking about the
19.
older
Yeah.
ones.
Kelly had a young
Yeah.
start. Out number 10, former AfterBuzz TV host Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
Woo!
She did well.
She did really well. She was out number 8 with 1 elimination. There are no times yet.
Okay.
There are no times yet on the magical thing I'm reading that's not just totally Wikipedia. Number 11 is Liv Morgan, representing SmackDown. Number 12, Molly Holly. Number 13.
no,
actually,
stay with
I should
Molly
stay with
Holly.
Molly Holly. Sorry.
Incredible.
I feel lied to because like in an interview like 3 days ago, she's like, "I'm not going to be in the Rumble. I don't know why you're asking me that."
And Molly
Lies.
She did a Molly go round.
Yeah, she did.
She's gotta say that though. You don't want to
I
spoil
know.
the surprise.
I
It was
know.
awesome.
Miss
to see
Madness
her.
99 did a Molly go round.
And kudos to her because she obviously she still looks in great shape. I mean, obviously she has her school. In
Yeah, that's what
Minnesota
I was
with-
gonna
with
say. She's running
Ken
that
Anderson
school.
and Sean Devari. So
Yeah.
She was
I love
amazing.
Molly Holly. Like I love any story with Molly Holly because she legit seems like the best human being, not just in wrestling, but in like the world. She's up there with Tim Tebow, who I think is going to be the face of the XFL, by the way. Because we're related by the looks of
By
it.
those
it's gonna
comments,
be,
sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It has to be Tim Tebow. But yeah, I mean Molly Holly. Like I that story where she said she paid for Beth Phoenix's wrestling training.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the best.
Out after.
And
yeah.
she did whatever she could to make the product better, including having her head shaved at WrestleMania.
That's just genius, though. She's like, I'll shave my head for a spot at WrestleMania. Sold.
Out after Molly Holly is Lana. Is Lana where I know they've mentioned it before, but they're making a pretty big deal now that it's Rusev's husband.
Rusev's
wife.
It is Rusev's wife.
Fair enough.
Aiden English is Rusev's husband. Fair enough. Here's where the Philly crowd starts to get on my nerves. Here's Lana in the first ever women's.
Careful, you're from Philly. You're wearing an Eagles jersey.
I'm aware.
Yeah,
Here
Denise, slide
comes-
away if you need to. It's-
Don't even
Dad.
get started about the Philly crowd.
Here comes Lana in the first ever women's Royal Rumble match at the Royal Rumble event. They start chanting Rusev Day.
Well, it's like chanting Undertaker when Michelle McCool's out.
But we're not talking about her yet. We're talking about Lana.
But
This is where it starts. This is where it
it's
starts.
the same crowd. Like,
yeah,
what are you
the
doing,
chanting John Cena
dude?
sucks. That Nikki.
It just goes to show how much everybody wants everyone to know that Rusev is a big deal, and they
I honestly,
want
out of
them
all
to
those
know.
chants, I minded the Rusev thing less because he's that over.
True.
Yes. And I love knowing that he's that over.
And it seems to be her deal because she specifically said it's Lana Day. So I'm not actually opposed to that chant specifically. Also, she had a real good bit with Sonya Deville where she squared up her hair. Lana did. Mm-hmm. All about it. Up after her, who looked the best she's ever looked in her entire career, Michelle McCool.
I was just thinking the same thing. I personally, I don't know how people think. I despised Michelle McCool during her run.
Same.
Not because of like booing, like, oh, she's a good villain. Layla saved her career with
Yeah.
the whole Layla thing because her personality did it. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, the only reason she has this job is because of Undertaker. It's so weird. But then tonight, she blew me away. She was incredible. I think she had the most eliminations.
I didn't know she was gonna last so long.
Yes.
I was surprised.
I was surprised as well.
I disagree with how over Michelle McCool was. You know,
And she
years
did
ago.
have the
She
most
was
eliminations.
amazing back in the day with McCool.
I
and not
did not
even
like
it
her
was
at all.
half and half. Like they worked so well together, and it almost made me forget about the beautiful people in TNA because it seemed like a ripoff at first. But Michelle McCool was awesome, and I'm happy that she got this chance to come back and. You know,
Really?
I feel like she would have came back even if she wasn't married to the Undertaker because she was that good back in the day.
So is she free tomorrow? Is she free Tuesday? Like, can she just come back? Like, she looked that good to me where I'm like, can we just
Yeah,
use it?
where I never saw that Michelle McCool tonight that went during her career.
People are just mad because she did the Styles Clash, before
I don't-
the Faith Breaker.
Well, let's be fair. The women's division when Michelle McCool was there wasn't good enough for anyone, for most of the people who are on this list. So that's part of it, that she wasn't in a place where she could thrive. Clearly, when she can thrive, it looks amazing. Up next is Ruby Riott, representing the Riott Squad. Riott spelled with 2 T's. That's how I introduce Ruby Riott. Up after her is
It's with a Y.
Vicky Guerrero, who,
Excuse me.
oh man.
That was brilliant.
This
I
was-
loved that.
This was the spot, a similar spot that I've been pitching on air for the last couple weeks would be that if Santina Marella came out and they all turned on Santina Marella, it's very similar here where Vicky Guerrero represents something completely different from what they're trying to do in this matchup.
I do want to say, because I've joked that we were either going to get Santina or James Ellsworth in this match, and I'm really glad neither of those happened.
Yeah,
That it was all legit
it was all just
women.
women. I think that's important. I'm sure that came up a lot. She was eliminated by
All of them.
the 4 women left in the match
Yeah.
at that time. Number 17 is Miss Money in the Bank, Carmella, who poses down with Vicky Guerrero, who's just eliminated. Vicky Guerrero hits Carmella with the briefcase, knocking Carmella out, and she's now playing the Heath Slater role on the outside. I think Carmella's like kind of undervalued in the women's division so far.
When you have the briefcase, you don't have to be.
She's another one too where I kind of classify her in like the same Usos because for like those first few weeks of after she won the Money in the Bank, she was like on fire on the mic, and now you don't really see she's kind of an afterthought. And I know she's gonna not become an afterthought when she cashes in finally, but she's somebody I feel like so undervalued on that roster, just victim of too much people on that roster.
I buy that.
When we're saying we need more women on the roster.
Yeah.
How about that?
And thank you, the Mexican Stallion, in the chat, letting me know that I can refresh the page I'm on that's totally not Wikipedia, and it's going to have times. Whoever...
Technology.
The page I'm on that's totally not Wikipedia, up after Carmella, is Natalya, who drops her gear onto Carmella and enters the Royal Rumble match. Natalya looked incredible in this matchup.
Well, Carmella dragged her off first.
Huh?
Carmella took Natalya off the apron before she got in.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I forgot that part
Yeah.
as well.
So she's like, I ain't going to be Heath Slater. You be Heath Slater.
You're the Heath Slater.
You're the Heath Slater of this match.
Number 19 is Kelly Kelly, who looked really good.
Well, that's not shocking. That's not breaking news there.
Well, wrestling wise, she looked pretty good, and I'm bringing it up that way because that in the parlance of her career, that was not always the case.
I mean, she got better at the end.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
that's,
thought
but
she
that's not
pretty
her
much looked-
fault either, though, because like when they sign her and they put her on this roster like a week later, it's like, dude, what do you expect?
Yeah. She only
That's
can
not
do
her
so
fault.
much.
Yeah, but she got a lot better toward the end of her,
Yeah.
of her run.
Kelly Kelly started her career at 19. Number 20. Oh, I see what they did there. Kelly Kelly entered at 19, started her career when she was 19. I see what they did there. That's probably me reading into it. That's probably
probably
nothing
you
they
reading
did.
They
Subtle
mentioned it. I mean,
Yeah. Speaking of mentioning it, who here enjoyed Stephanie McMahon's commentary?
I personally love Stephanie McMahon's commentary, and I want to hear why people didn't.
I was kind of indifferent with it. It was all right. Nothing really stood out. Now, part of that also could have been I was kind of at a party watching the Rumble.
Yeah.
So I might have not heard it all. So I'm going to be going back because Rumble's my favorite event of the year. I'm going to be watching both the Rumbles again. So I probably have a better description of her commentary at that point. But I was fine with it.
It didn't make it or break it.
Right.
It was fine. It was, like you said, indifferent.
To me, it felt like the people sitting to her left felt like they couldn't say stuff or were worried about saying stuff or like how like she's clearly very powerful in that company and I felt a lot of hesitation on their end of like trying to take a lead, which is what they would do with any other guest. but with her, that there felt like such a hesitation of like, so, and then what happened? Like there was a lot of very clear leading into her, and then there were a couple times where somebody would say something in the ring, and she said, as if like we don't have microphones from the cameras. I don't know. Maybe I'm super hard on Stephanie McMahon. I didn't care for her commentary.
See, I think it was great. It's one of those double-edged or double standards where I think she was great because she kind of mentioned a little bit out of most characters. Oh, well, this person's from this.
Yeah.
Dana Brooke is this. You know, she competed this. It's like, oh, but when Jim Ross does it, it's like, oh, the best thing ever. You know, him doing his research. But it's like, well, when Steph does it, oh, screw her. No, man. It's like you can't just hold Stephanie to a lower standard just because she's Stephanie McMahon. She actually offers a lot more to that company that most people think. It's not like she's on creative. You know, she does like a lot of good stuff for that company, and I'm sure she's one of the main reasons why even the main event, or let alone main eventing the Royal Rumble, that the Rumble match is actually happening.
Fair enough, and she's also there. Clearly, we know her addition was added for this end segment as well, so that's part of it. Number 21 is Hall of Famer Jacqueline.
Did great.
Looked great. Did great. Number 22, Nia Jax, a lot of people's favorite to win this matchup. She actually went 17 minutes, 56 seconds with 4 eliminations. Nia Jax representing Raw.
She had the Big Show spot where, she's the biggest person.
Oh, yeah, a couple Big Show spots.
To get her out. I was expecting that, so I was glad that they did it, kind of like a nod to the men's Rumble.
It was all about her.
Real quick, because everything's happening, we're Money in the Bank, we're Rumble, rumor has it maybe Elimination Chamber. Are we going to see a Bertha Faye Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania?
Oh, jeez, really?
Come on.
I'm not going to. We may see a Queen of the Ring, and I'll leave you there.
That would be cool.
If we had a Royal tournament.
But it's one of those things where it's like, you have that match at Mania where it's like, well, they're not doing something. Let's put him on Mania, or let's put him in that match. It's like you can't do the same, or you can't not do the same for the women now. Because there's going to be a lot of women left out of that card.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Luna Vachon Memorial Battle Royal?
No, it'd be like a Moolah Battle Royal.
I know, Moolah's so obvious. Plus, I heard a couple things about Moolah that they're not really. They kind of want
those
to
things
distance.
too.
Yeah,
There's
they
a
kinda want
reason it's
distance
the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah, I
and
heard
we'll move on.
I heard
number
the same thing. I heard the
number
same thing.
23, Ember Moon, NXT Women's Champion. I want this to be an informal thing they do for the next 5 years.
I agree.
Where the world champion of either gender just turns up on the Rumble of that gender, but they don't talk about it. Because the last thing I want is for the NXT TakeOver match the night before to be, and then tomorrow they get to do the Rumble match. Like, I don't want that. I want it to be super informal, that it just happens.
I actually completely agree with you.
I don't want that to be the stake so much as just,
Right.
Cool. That happened. Ember Moon really selling the Shayna Baszler arm.
Excellent.
Excellent. Everything about this. Up after her, Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix.
This was great. They all looked fantastic.
They really did. All
Like,
the
none of them
legends
don't
look great.
age.
Yeah.
After her, everybody's favorite to win the match, Asuka, number 25th. Number 25th, yes.
25th.
25th. And then number 26, Mickie James.
I forgot that she was on the roster. I was like, oh, another alum. No, she's still there.
Oh, yeah, Mickie James
She's actually there.
Mickie James came back. Mickie James, obviously, I believe she came back to face Asuka in NXT and then just
Toronto last week.
And then just kind of stayed. Just kind of stuck around.
Yeah. I mean, she was at WrestleMania last year.
Yeah, she was.
Match, yeah.
Then number 27, representing SmackDown, big surprise, Nikki Bella. The surprise being that she's representing SmackDown, not that she showed up. Of course she'd show up.
Did they say she represented SmackDown?
Yep. Wikipedia says she's representing SmackDown.
Wikipedia. My edits came in.
Also, the WWE.com Superstar page has her listed as SmackDown. Whenever the last time they made something formal, she was a SmackDown Superstar.
Did you miss Naomi? She wasn't by now, wasn't she?
We talked about Naomi.
Yeah, we just forgot to talk about the part where she was on the chair and she was like crawling on the floor and stuff.
Yes, because you're right, because that happened at the Nia Jax clear.
Call it the Kofi spot.
Oh, we didn't talk about Kofi's spot either.
With the pancakes and the.
Where?
Are we going to talk about every spot?
Well, we need to talk about those crazy ones.
Fair enough. Sorry, I did forget.
memorable.
I did forget the Kofi spot with the pancakes. That was fun.
As Scott Narver put it, the floor is lava spot.
I don't know, man. Things like that make me mad because I love pancakes. What a waste of pancakes, man.
So, Naomi does the floor is lava spot, the Kofi spot, similar to how Kofi did it years ago.
Yeah.
With the chair.
Yep.
All about it. AfterBuzz TV's Maria Menounos was in that chair.
And she didn't realize it was happening.
Was she, it looked like she was trying to take a selfie. They even said it on commentary.
Yeah, she was taking a selfie. Now Naomi's like, "Excuse me, Maria, can I take your chair now? I need it now, right now."
Maria looked like nobody smartened her up. Is what it looks like. It looks like nobody told her that was gonna happen. They were just like, "Oh, Maria's a pro."
I was trying to figure out if she knew that was gonna happen, or if they had that like that little thing planned. I don't know.
Or she didn't know it was happening at that moment. Maria was very present in that moment, like throughout that entire time.
No, the way I saw it was, oh, Naomi's behind me. Let me take a selfie with her behind me. That's how I saw it. I don't know.
Yeah, and then, because we see that if the camera's on them, they need to move. Whereas there was a chance Maria could have thought Naomi would be there for another like 10 seconds, and like, oh, I have perfect time and just get a selfie before we do the thing that we talked about we were gonna do. We are on to Nikki Bella, then Brie Bella, free agent Brie Bella, and this is where we get a lot of chanting at women for who they're with. Although it works for Brie Bella because
she starts the yes chant.
So yeah, the yes thing. The yes thing is Brie Bella
because nobody complains when they do it for Brie Bella, or nobody complains when they do it for Vicky Guerrero either. But again, I think those are more so in tribute as opposed to hey, let's annoy certain people by chanting how much their spouses suck.
That's fair. That happens. It's not something I particularly cared for because I think Nikki Bella has worked really, really hard her entire career.
I absolutely agree with you.
That she should earn the right for us to tell her she sucks.
I think she is one of the unsung heroes of this women's revolution.
True. Definitely unsung. Number 29, Bayley. Bayley was present in this matchup.
I feel like everyone forgot about Bayley. A lot of people on Twitter were like, oh, Bayley, yeah.
Bayley.
Poor Bayley.
We had high hopes. Also, sometime around this time, Becky Lynch gets eliminated, and it was very sad. It was very sad because we were all, I think we were all really pulling for Becky Lynch to win this match or at least go very far, because she of the 4 women who've come through, like of the 4 original NXT women, and definitely of the initial call-ups for the women's revolution, Becky Lynch was the unsung hero of that revolution. She never won a title. Like she didn't win a title until fairly recently, and then Alexa Bliss, just the eclipse of her, just like overshadowed her in every way. That this could have been a really good centerpiece for Becky Lynch if Asuka wasn't in the match. Bayley, however, 5 minutes for Bayley, and then number 30, huge surprise, Trish Stratus, Hall of Famer.
Hasn't missed a beat.
She looked amazing.
She looked incredible.
Oh my
hasn't lost a step.
Hasn't lost a step. And looked amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't feel bad though that right before she came out, everybody was chanting for Ronda. I didn't. Everybody was like.
Yeah, there was a huge Ronda. There was a huge Ronda chant heading into number 30.
That's why I was worried because I was like, I didn't know until after the Rumble that Alicia Fox got hurt.
Ooh.
So all of a sudden I'm just like. I'm like, either they somehow screwed Alicia, or she's going to get booed out of the freaking building if she's number 30.
She's going to get Rey Mysterio'd, I think would be the Rumble term.
Right. But then it was Trish. I'm just like, what happened to Alicia? And then I found out, I'm like, oh.
At this point, I was trying to figure out. I was like, "Oh, so Trish is not going to come out in the Rumble?" Because I was really thinking that 30 was going to be Ronda. I really thought that 30 was going to be Ronda. Yeah. So I was like, Trish is not going to come out." And then when everybody was chanting for Ronda, I was like, "Okay, Ronda's going to come out." And then Trish came out, and I don't feel like she got that Rey Mysterio spot because everyone's like, "Oh, it's Trish." Yeah. I don't think people were disappointed.
Oh no, people were not in Trish.
Yeah, they still, we still expected Ronda, so I think that they weren't disappointed.
Actually, 1.8 people thought Trish would win this match. Once again, not announced. 15.2 thought Ronda would win this match.
I knew Trish was going to be in there, so personally that didn't surprise me. But I
win
thought,
the match. I
didn't think she was going to win.
No,
I thought Asuka was going to win the whole time. But yeah, I mean, again, she looked amazing. Oh my god, this match was so awesome. I love this match from top to finish.
Yeah.
Me too. I thought this was a great match.
Love the standoff between Trish and Mickey. Obviously, flashback to Mania 22, and that maybe even top 5 best women's wrestling matches of all time.
Yeah,
that match was amazing. And seeing that revisited,
it was great with the callbacks of Trish and Mickey. The moment with Amber and Asuka, the tease of Trish and Sasha was cool. Natalia and Beth, they brought a lot of the memories back in a way,
or even
really cool.
Flashback to the women's match where you had Roman eliminate Rollins, you had Nikki eliminate Brie. I loved everything about it. Was a little shocked at who the final 4 was, but that doesn't mean it was bad. Again, I loved everything about this match.
While I was running down the percents, 49.1% thought it would be Asuka, and then it was split among a lot of people. Becky Lynch is the second favorite. Third favorite was Ronda Rousey, and then everyone else had less than 10% or 0.
It's crazy, like, what a favorite Becky Lynch was, but when you look at the entire scope of the Rumble, you know, she, I guess you can say, didn't play as big a part as many people would probably have hoped.
Yeah. So we have like 5 more minutes to talk about. By the way, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte were in Philadelphia just to sit and watch this entire match.
Best seats in the house.
They did have the best seats in the house next to Marina
I guess
Nunes.
Charlotte can't have everything because she's like been in the first of the women match for everything. First Hell in a Cell, Money in the
Women's
Bank,
or the
like,
Iron Man
on the main roster, yeah. And it's like, okay, like, so I would have liked to have seen Charlotte in this match, but again, I guess it's not that bad to be champ, but.
Also, she was
I'm
involved.
sure.
Like, and also you could argue she was involved in the match in the sense that the match happened to possibly choose her.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty big.
Like, if anything, I feel bad more so for Paige.
I feel really
obviously
bad for
she worked
Paige.
very hard in the last year to kind of come back and for this to happen. But yeah, I mean, obviously they were there. I like the roles. I like that they weren't on commentary because I feel like that would have been too much.
That would
for
have been way
Asuka
too
or,
much.
Alexa and Charlotte. But I like the role. I like the tease. I like, and especially going back to like, yeah, you had Nakamura choose. It's like, no, now we have to watch and see exactly what's going to happen.
Now we
that,
want to tune in tomorrow to Raw
Yeah.
to see who Asuka chooses.
Oh no,
Okay.
I'm mad at WWE for making us watch. Oh no,
But
Does Asuka choose Ronda?
no.
No.
You don't-
Okay.
You don't think she can choose Ronda instead of the other two?
Well, for
Okay.
what?
I've held my tongue a little on this round of business. I think this was not the right time. If you wanted to have her come out as a surprise, she should have come out as a surprise at the before the match starts. The match should be a celebration of women's wrestling, and the winner of that match should get a full-fledged point to the WrestleMania sign, pick your victor, be your victor, pick your champion moment. Asuka was robbed of that moment, and unless we're trying to sell tickets that Ronda is that terrible a person to rob Asuka of such a moment, you're doing it wrong. That's how I feel.
So you have an emotion and a legit reaction to something the WWE tried to do at the end of one of its biggest pay-per-views.
No, but you're missing my point.
So they did their job.
But is their intention to make me not like Ronda Rousey?
Yes.
How?
Make Ronda a heel. I don't know
But
why
they're
my
not-
voice cracked, but
she's
make
gonna
her a heel.
she's gonna tag with The Rock against Triple H and Stephanie. How are you gonna make her a
supposedly.
heel?
According to Meltzer, but he can be wrong at times.
I'm
He can
aware.
certainly be right most of the time, but
I'm
he
aware.
can be wrong at times.
I'm just saying, I'm being very reserved here, but I am saying I disliked their use of Ronda Rousey. I think it trounced Asuka's moment, and to a certain extent trounced the entire match.
Do you think it would have been? Would you have liked it better had she been in the Rumble and then maybe Stephanie like ruined her chance at victory, and then afterwards she went and had the tag team match, Mania?
Possibly, or if she didn't, or if she was just in the front row or turned up before number one. Like Maria's about to announce number one, then Ronda Rousey comes out and Maria's looking at a card and is like, "This." Ronda Rousey's here. She's not number one.
But then the fans in Philly are going to spend the entire show chanting for Rousey.
And I honestly,
No, she comes out, does a deal with Stephanie, then leaves.
Then they're going to be chanting for her to come out again
Why?
because they know she's there.
No, they're gonna get over it and then look at the match because this
they
match
won't.
we just saw will get over.
Since when do Philly fans get over it?
they rioted after they won. How does
They
that make
punch
sense?
horses after they win.
That was celebration, sir. We've never punched horses. Who's punching horses?
Philly
No
people?
one's punching horses.
I don't blame Minnesota for saying screw you to the Philly fans. But if anything, I did love the fact that anybody who loves UFC as much as I do, not more than WWE, relax, but knows that Ronda Rousey's her walkout music is the same music, Bad Intentions by Joan Jett, which by the way, Freaks and Geeks, anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. But yeah, so I love the fact that like that still kind of came with her. Because anybody who knows Ronda, especially in her UFC career, that song fits her perfectly, that she doesn't give a damn about, how you feel about her reputation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about a reputation. I'm talking about storytelling.
I'm talking about the song!
I didn't think this was great storytelling, and maybe they'll prove me wrong tomorrow, but I don't see
You're
it.
going to tune in, right?
Maybe.
Well,
I got stuff to
we
do
would
tomorrow.
watch regardless.
I'll eventually see
But
it.
because I think the more so, and I think what I know none of us are missing the point because we all get it. But it's not really. It wasn't really about that. It was more so about, hey, go to social media now to see some announcements because ESPN's picking it up. Everybody's going to pick it up. And,
Hold on.
and again,
okay,
and
this frustrated me.
Maybe we're that's what WWE is looking for. They're not looking for us. They're looking for that.
I know. That frustrated me a lot because I watched that with Michael Cole saying, go to Twitter, breaking news on Twitter, breaking news. I can't tell you here, breaking news. And then they go off the air and then I go on Twitter and there's no new information.
Well, no, it's in public now that she has signed a full-time contract.
But that's not breaking.
Did you know that news, official news, before that moment?
Yes, but that's because I'm weird. That's because I'm weird and know stuff. I knew she.
Do you know stuff, or do you just speculate on stuff, and then when you finally see it, oh, I knew it?
No, I actually knew that. I actually knew that Ronda was signed.
Okay.
This panel turned on me real fast.
No, we just want to know how you knew.
Yeah, how did you know over anyone else then?
People DM me on Twitter. That's the best way to describe.
Really?
I know stuff.
He's one of those.
One of those.
I know stuff.
Eagles fans, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like, I'll tell you how I knew Trish was a lock for the Rumble. I'll tell you afterwards. But I mean, I'll tell you.
I'll tell you afterwards how I
yeah.
knew she was signed. It's the same way you knew.
Well, let's just say that because I know we're getting ready to wrap up. I do just want to say, with this weekend headed into now we're officially on the road to WrestleMania. With as great as this Rumble was from beginning to end, both Rumble matches, as amazing as Takeover was last night, which the NXT team I'm sure will be breaking down later this week, with the mainstream attention that we're going to be getting now with Rousey, this to me is the best WWE has been this decade right now. And this momentum, I think, is going full force for them. I am thoroughly excited for what's going to happen over these next few months, based with everything on all the shows. I couldn't be happier with what is happening overall. And if people are still complaining about things with this, shame on you.
I'm not complaining about the in-ring. I'm not complaining about the in-ring.
I have a thought real quick before we wrap up. Would you have been maybe more satisfied with something that obviously not exactly, because obviously we would be like, oh, that's duplicated, closer to what they did with Mike Tyson?
Yes, very much so.
That's maybe that's what it was.
That's that.
Because obviously maybe it would have been had Mike Tyson would have came out after the Rumble after Austin win. It's like, hey, WrestleMania.
Exactly, because the Rumble '98 is a good example of he was present but not overshadowing.
Yeah.
I feel the way Ronda came out tonight overshadowed the entire thing.
Because Tyson was announced before the match, yet they weren't chanting for Tyson for the match. Then again,
that was before social media,
and not in Philly.
Okay, we disagree.
No, I mean, I kind of
like you at least see where I'm coming from.
Where you're coming from now in terms of
it feels like a devalue. I think Asuka winning the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match would have been enough for me. Maybe I'm a rarity, and I'm aware that doesn't get you headlines on ESPN. Although it might. You've never had a Women's Royal Rumble match before, WWE. You don't actually know.
But does Joe Schmo, who doesn't follow wrestling, know who Asuka is? They know who Ronda Rousey is.
That's fair. I did that one on purpose.
I know.
Real quick before we get out of here, we do the AfterBuzz TV Predictions Championship, and we do have a champion. It is at AG. It is.
You can do it.
I can do this. We're almost home. It is at AJ0314. Came down to the tiebreaker. You are our new predictions champion. Congratulations.
He's a tiebreaker.
Every
the other
person
person
always comes
yes.
tiebreaker. We make that same joke every single time.
That's fair. Do we have any final thoughts before we head on out of here?
See, he changed it up. He said that's fair instead of fair enough. See what he did?
Yes.
See what he did there?
I'm aware.
I am really looking forward to Mania. That's all I gotta say. I am so happy that the Shinsuke, AJ, I'm just like, yes.
Oh God.
And it's one of those things where like everybody was complaining that it wasn't at last year's WrestleMania. You can't give everything there automatically, or else there's nothing to look forward to. So I'm happy that they played it out, and especially with how they booked Nakamura against Jinder Mahal and whatnot. It's like I thought it was too soon for him to win the belt. So I like the fact that he actually had to go through 29 other men to win that opportunity to go to WrestleMania. Now it's like AJ versus Nakamura, unless they're gonna mess with us.
I was gonna say the key thing. I was just gonna say there's still time.
Unless they're gonna have Jinder win.
You still have Owens
Fastlane.
and Zayn with their argument.
Yeah.
So, like, things can still change.
That would be such a major tease, though. Like, I'd probably cry a little bit.
That would be
then they have you in the palm of the hand. We will see.
So, thank you all so much for joining us here at AfterBuzz TV. George, where can the people find you, on the Twitter?
Me on Twitter and Instagram at GHERMOZA. The road to WrestleMania begins. Yeah. The road to 600 followers begins as well. I think I'm like at 551.
Okay.
So let's get to road to 600 followers starting yesterday.
Started yesterday.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much for coming.
And it was actually interesting because I got the memory today, January 28th, officially is my 5-year anniversary here at AfterBuzz.
Wow.
So I got to break down the room. Yeah, you guys have put up with me for this long. I don't know how.
None of us at this table have been here that long.
No.
Go on.
Oh, I was going to say alcohol.
Oh, that's what it is. Follow me on Twitter at Rosenberg, Instagram, Rosenberg, ProSandTees.com/Christian Rosenberg. Check me out hosting Smackdown AfterBuzz every Tuesday night. And Patriots 28, Eagles 20.
All right.
Hope so.
That's awesome. I got a few things to say. First of all, if you guys are in the Texas area, February 16, Our Lucha is coming to Belmont, Texas. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And February 17, Our Lucha will be in Humble, Texas. So make sure to check it out on the Facebook, Twitter, and ourlucha.com. Also, don't forget to check out XPac12360 every Wednesdays at 3 p.m. And you guys can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram and on YouTube at _Denise Salcedo. Please help me on YouTube because I'm poor.
I'm Steve Kaufman. You can find me on Twitter almost exclusively. That's at Steve Kaufman, Kaufmann. I do a lot of shows here at AfterBuzz TV. I tweet about them fairly regularly. I am going to WrestleMania. I don't have any other plans aside from that.
Oh.
But it's going to be great.
I'm going to Survivor Series.
Great. So, for George Hermoza, Christian Rosenberg, Denise Salcedo, I've been Steve Kaufman. Thank you, and good night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.